Hi everyone, it's Louise with louisemckayart, and I did a survey the other day asking my subscribers which Lazy Susan they'd prefer, the left one with a darker color palette or the right. So based on my subscriber feedback, the darker green received 11 votes, but the lighter green received 34 votes. So let's see how I created this lighter green Lazy Susan. Hi everyone, it's Louise with louisemckayart, and welcome to my channel. And today I'm going to be doing another Lazy Susan, and I'm going to be doing it on these Lazy Susans from Lipper International, Lipper. Look at my description for the link. And it is bought through a website called Faire, F-A-I-R-E. Now, I'm not going to pick this up, but the back, if you've seen me before, the back is taped off and covered up so that I have all of it taped up to the edges on the bottom, so that as I pour and I resin, I won't have any gunk getting on the bottom. And just from experience, you want to have your bottom covered because we don't like to have our bare bottoms. And what happens is it gets to be a mess, and then after it's all said and done, you have to sand it down, which is a pain in the butt. So I'm about ready to take a trip, and I actually have to start strategizing, and I don't ever talk about strategizing your paint pours, but for me, I have to plan, because if I have a day where I'm going to resin, I don't want to do a Lazy Susan that day, because first of all, when I resin, it's the last thing I do for the day. I resin, close up the shop, turn on the vent, and then I'm out. When I make Lazy Susans, I use a hairdryer. When I'm blowing the hairdryer, dust is blowing around. And I don't want to blow a hairdryer around in the morning and then try to resin in the afternoon with maybe dust still blowing around and not settled out in the air. So I have to strategize how I'm, planning my day. Plus, I'm taking a trip, so I'm trying to get ahead of the shop downtown because I have to keep them in Lazy Susans now. So now it's starting to feel a little more like a job where I'm trying to stay ahead. I'll make a couple Lazy Susans, have these sitting and drying while I'm gone for a week. And then by the time I get back, it'll be about 5 more days and I'll be ready to resin. So I'm just trying to get ahead to strategize my deliveries downtown. So that's my thought process. Just wanted to share that with you because I don't ever talk about the thinking and the timing on things, but it definitely goes into my day and how I want to do things. So, of course, I level this out in both directions. The table where I'm going to put this on is leveled out as well. Let's get started. I'm going to make this really simple. I have over 60, almost 70 Lazy Susan creations with swipes, blooms, open cups. Please check out my playlist with all the different creations. I have a lot to offer, a lot of different color combinations and such. This is my pillow, Glidden GLN 6011N. We're going to lay some of this down. Definitely check out my description for links to things. I have links to playlists, links to the products I use. So I'm not going to go crazy here. I'm going to lay down some of this pillow. I'm going to spin it. Get it stretched out just a little bit. See where we are. I'm a little long on that side, I think. All right, we're going to add a little more pillow. And you'll see I never ever take my pillow all the way to the end before I blow it out. Because when I blow it out, it's going to stretch out, and when I stretch it with spinning, it's going to stretch out as well. So I don't need to go crazy here. And I'm going crazy. Let's give it a little spin. Just need to have it kind of spreading out. Almost acts like it's not level, but I know I leveled it. Stop with that. Okay, colors. First color is Titan Green by Golden, and I have mixed in it a little bit of this Aloe by Deco Art to darken it up a little bit. And I'm almost out because I made a few sets of coasters with this color combination or a variation thereof. And I got to be careful with this color because it is really strong. This color is something called Burlap. Oh, that's a combination. It's Burlap, I knew it was. Deco Art and Brûlé by TLP. This little piggy. You can go to the Fluidart company to get the TLPs. And if you look at this color, it's like, there's not much going on here, right? Looks kind of boring, but I'm telling you, with the colors I put around it, it's pretty darn good. We're gonna lay a good amount down here because that green is gonna overpower this color. Yeah, that if you're looking for a good green color for a green palette, this Titan green is a very strong color and it's opaque. Next color combo, Extreme Sheen 24 Karat by Glidden, by Deco Art, and Golden's Iridescent Gold. If you've seen me, you'll know I like this color combination. I like putting these two colors together. They bring out the best in each other. It's like you get the real bling from the 24 karat gold by Deco Art, and then you get the soft, really pretty gold from Glidden. Next color is Iridescent Pearl, straight up. And all of this is mixed with my usual Valspar 833124 and MinWax. I'll show you my container in a second. I always put my pouring medium and my pillow both in separate containers, which are just easier to handle. All right, where is it? Semi-gloss MinWax with Valspar. Next color is combination again. Amsterdam's, what is this? Olive Green Deep with Carbon Black by Glidden. Just to darken it up some to get to this. After I mix these up, I'm always looking for about a 2 to 3 second trace, drizzling it off the stick. This is going to wipe this out. Just a really nice, stable, strong green. Really rich color, especially with the black in there. Really makes it very pretty. And it goes really nicely with this color I made as well. Good colors together. And then this is my weird micaceous oxide, iron oxide by Glidden with a few drops of the Glidden dark carbon black to give me this. Before I add the carbon black, it looks kind of steel, like lead. And the carbon black just richens it up a little bit. I love black. Black's a great color. It's a great color for contrast. And it's exciting. I think black's a nice color. It's exciting. All right, I'm going to take a moment to slide this stuff out of the way. All right, my cell activator. This is my American Floetrol cell activator. I have a video 141. I'll link it above. It's I show you how I make the cell activator and what the ingredients are in grams, so it's really precise. So this is titanium white, Amsterdam, and this is oxide black by Amsterdam. Always stir it up before you go. And then what I'm going to do here is I'm going to blow it out with my mouth, get it started, and then I'm going to use the hairdryer to blow it out the rest of the way. Now, for blow video, I have a really good video, 419. It's called The Art of the Blow. It shows you how to find out where you're blowing in the first place. It gives you a little cheat to find your mouth and your blow, because it gets confusing when you have your eyes down here and you can't find your mouth. And it gives you tips on how to blow things out. 419, I'll link it above. In the meantime, let's get this cell activator down. And then I'll get on the step stool, blow it out with my mouth, blow it out with the hairdryer. All right, move this over here. There we go. Slow blow there. While I have a moment here, I'm just going to explain that this Berta is a 1000-watt hair dryer off of Amazon. I got it a few years ago. I know they don't have this brand anymore, but I think I have a link in the description as to a similar brand that'll work the same. And also notice that I do not use the concentrator at the end. I have the open nozzle just blowing out, and I'm just pushing the paint out with the air. I'm not pushing straight down. I'm pushing kind of behind it, like giving it a nudge with a little bit of air as I blow it out and stretch it out. And at this point, I'm not trying to get to the edge. I'm just trying to spread this out over the pillow as much as possible. Getting it to the edge will happen in the next phase. If you've been watching me, you know that I always take an extra second to debate with myself whether I'm going to keep blowing or not. I was debating whether to keep going there. But what can happen is if you keep blowing, you can end up blowing into the pillow, and I don't want to do that. Then we're going to blow in the middle just to get this going a little bit. So where the cell activator hasn't activated yet, just blow on it a little bit and it'll stretch it out, and the colors underneath will push through and give you some nice cells. That's what I'm doing here. And sometimes that happens when your cell activator gets a little bit thicker. In the meantime, I'm going to stretch out the pillow. I'll go on fast forward through this. You don't need to see the whole thing here. So I'm just stretching the pillow paint to the edge and sides, so when I get ready to spin, the paint will know exactly where it needs to go. And one of the reasons why I only spread the pillow out so far to start with is so that I contain my composition and leave the development of it for the spinning and the stretching. All right, let's give it a little spin. Always start out my spin very slow at first. I'll assess where my center is, how everything's looking. Everything looks really good. You can see the edge starting to crawl. It's starting to creep. The leading edge of the pillow. Going a little faster over here, so I'm going to cheat this direction just a hair, and over here just a hair. I want it to kind of stretch out equally in all directions at the same time. Or not. So I've already got some going over the edge. We'll baby this a little bit. Got some on the floor here. I'll pick it up and use some of it. Some of my extra that's already spilled off. So there's several key components to how all this works. The first and most important is certainly getting a good color combination and using the right paints. And the next is probably to get a good blowout so you get good opportunity for composition. And the third is to get that composition to stretch out in all directions as evenly as possible. The bottom. But that's okay. We will get through this without a problem. All right. So here, just making sure I'm getting paint coverage on all the sides. Get the sides fully done so everything can then spread out all together. All right, I think we're ready to go on spin cycle. So I might get my palette knife out to do a little playing. Let me find my little guy. And now that we've got this part pretty much locked in, I'll probably cut out some of the spinning as we go forward. Oh, beautiful. Let's take a look at the middle, see where we are. I always check the middle to make sure I've got enough paint off, but I guarantee I don't have enough off yet. Oh, look at that. We're close to done. Let's give it another spin. This thing is rocking on me. I don't know why. I know why I'm cattywampus, because I went off center. I got some air bubbles in there I'm going to have to contend with. They look like they're little annoying things. But I think, for the most part, we're almost done. At this point now, it's just a matter of playing with the palette knife. So I've got a little negative space here. Yeah, I don't like this palette knife. Where's my other palette knife? So here I'm going to do a little palette knife work with scoop and drag, where I get under the paint and pull it out, and also just playing around with moving the paint. These little adjustments. Go off the edge. Just fills in the gap a bit. Just little add-ons. Just a scoop and drag. Maybe they do. I think we're about done. Let's check the middle one more time. Look at that. Look how little. You see how little paint there is on there? I think we're done. All right, everybody. I think we're going to call that a wrap, and we will get you back for the full finished result. All right. Thanks for being here, everybody. I really appreciate it. And don't forget, leave a comment, and if you can hit the thumbs up, I'd really appreciate it. Just do it now. Just hit that thumbs up, because I'd really appreciate that. And if you can hype the video, that would be awesome as well. But I really want to know your comments on this particular creation. And once again, there was a person named Boring Doerings that really was looking for this color palette. This is to her. Thank you for your suggestion. So everyone, that is a wrap. Here is the wet results. And as always, I show you the final resined results, so I let you see that we got from the start to the finish without a hitch. Again, thank you for the suggestion on the color palette, Boring Doerings, and of course I do have the darker color palette, and if you really want to see that one, maybe I can share that in a couple months or so. So I'm thankful and glad that you guys took the time to be here with me today to see this tutorial. And at the end, I'm going to link my playlists for other Lazy Susans, where I have well over 60 with different styles and colors. So check that out. Again, here's a reminder to check out my description for information that you might find useful for yourself. You'll also find in the description a 10% discount code for the KS resin that I use for this and other functional art type creations. I also have the type that I use, so if you need the name, it's right there. You get 10% off, and KS resin gives me 5% toward future purchases. And if you're wanting to shop a lot of internet, if you can go through my product links, YouTube will give me a percentage back if you purchase anything through there, and that's another way to help me out. So I think with that, everybody, that's all I have for now. Take care. Till next time.